This morning at just after 11 o'clock, Evander Kane turned himself in to Buffalo Police detectives outside of our central booking office in the basement of City Court. He was brought downstairs. He was booked and processed on 4 counts of a violation harassment, 1 violation of disorderly conduct, and 1 criminal trespass, which is a B misdemeanor charge. After the booking and processing, he was released on an appearance ticket to return to court, Buffalo City Court, on August 1st.
Questions, please.
Is it technically an arrest? You guys put out information of an arrest. Is it technically an arrest if he turned himself in?
Yes, it's still an arrest.
Can you detail the night of the incident? What would happen there, the timeline?
Officers responded to an incident outside of this establishment, which at some point led them to evidence inside the establishment on Chippewa Street in the first 100 block. Throughout the investigation, we initially had 2 complainants. Based on the investigation, we had 2 more complainants come back, give us more information, and ultimately wound up with 4 separate complainants, all in the same night, the same time frame.
How do you determine the trespassing charge? Is that from Bottoms Up, the club that he was in?
A criminal trespass charge results is when a person is inside of a building like that there and refuses to leave and had to be forcibly removed from the establishment. That constitutes, from a basic violation trespass, it upgrades it to a criminal trespass.
Now the institution is saying that he was at no point trespassing. Does Bottoms Up have to tell you that he was there against their wanting him to be there?
Someone from the bar signed a complaint.
Now, initially there was 2 women who filed. There were initially 2 complainants. Were the other 2 male complainants?
There was 3 female complainants and 1 male complainant.
And specifically, what are we talking about with those? It's the disorderly conduct and the harassment?
Which ones are you talking about?
The 3. The 3 complainants.
3 of the complainants are harassment only, and the 4th complainant has the harassment, the disorderly conduct, and the criminal trespass.
Okay.
The
When we're
4th is a
talking
male?
about-
Yes.
Is a male?
Yes.
When you're talking about harassment, are you saying that he was getting too close to people? He was forcibly touching someone who didn't want to be touched? What are we talking about with harassment?
A harassment charge is when you subject someone to physical contact, unwanted physical contact. It does not rise to the level of an assault, which requires injury. So unwanted physical contact is the underlying circumstances of a harassment charge.
But what are you saying he was doing in the bar?
The allegations that are made are grabbing complainants by the neck, by the hair, or the arms.
And when you to clarify, so when you say the harassment and it doesn't involve injury, there was no bruising, or was there any bruising, or
We have no injuries.
Okay.
What do you say grabbing by the neck and grabbing and things like that? That's of the women or the women and the man?
All of them. There were 4 separate individual counts of harassment, which again subjects person to unwanted contact. So,
And can you detail what happened outside the bar? There's, of course, the allegation that he was forcing one of the women into his car or to a car.
well, that's part of the harassment charge. There was some of that occurred inside the bar. Most of it occurred inside. Some of it occurred outside.
Can you tell us the nature of that specific charge, the woman getting outside the vehicle? The relationship between them?
Too specific, right? Too specific.
Did he try to force a woman into a car?
Our charges are related to grabbing by the neck and by the arms and by the hair.
Couple more questions.
To forcibly put her in the car?
I wouldn't go that far.
Are you going to be arresting anybody else? Are you looking to charge anybody else with anything, or is it strictly?
Nobody else will be charged. It was an extensive investigation. There was a lot of video that we poured through, and that's why it took so long to bring this case to a conclusion. There's a lot of material, and the investigation takes as long as it takes for us to go through the evidence. So we reached our conclusion within the last day, and working in consultation with the district attorney's office, we made our case. We notified Mr. Kane's attorney, asked him to turn himself in, and he came and turned himself in this morning.
When he turned himself in, he was handcuffed. Is that normal for charges like this?
It doesn't matter what the charges are. When someone's arrested, our policy, when you're going down into booking, it's a secure facility, and everyone, regardless of who they are, must be handcuffed into that area. So it had nothing to do with Mr. Kane. It had nothing to do with his charges. It doesn't matter who it is. That is our policy. That's a policy when you go into any secure facility.
Do you have any, in your investigation, did you determine what prompted this occurrence?
That's something that they'll have to get into in court.
Was everyone drinking that
he,
night?
was he intoxicated?
That's, again, something to get into court. We didn't run him through any breathalyzers. We didn't run him through anything. So
How did he leave the bar? Was he kicked out of the bar?
he was forcibly removed from the bar by bar staff.
by bar staff?
One more question. One more.
So again, he has 10 days to appear in court. And there's
He
no
will be
court
in
date set?
Buffalo City Court on August 1st. That's what his appearance ticket date is for.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you. Any other updates
Thanks.
we'll provide by email.
Thanks.
Thank you,
None of
everybody.
these victims went to the hospital, correct? None
No,
of them?
no injuries.
Okay.
Not aware of any injuries yet.
Not that we're aware of.